So I thought I'd take you for a little trip down memory lane. I know the average age of my subscribers is probably a fair bit lower than mine, but when I first started playing computer games, one of the first FPS first-person shooters that I ever played would have been Quake, and one of the first times I would have ever played a multiplayer first-person shooter would have been Quake 3 Arena. Now I'd have to double check the date of GoldenEye. I can't remember which came first. I feel like Quake came quite a bit before GoldenEye, but I could be wrong. Anyway, that's sort of a couch multiplayer. This was something that I actually went to my first ever LAN party, I suppose you'd call it, where a heap of people had it set up, and we played some Quake 3 Arena. Now this isn't Quake 3 Arena, but it is Quake Live. It's a free-to-play game, and it's obviously still got all the old Quake nostalgia that you'd really be looking for. Now, I have been told that the Quake 3 community, on the whole, is not overly impressed with Quake Live. Yes, there is actually a Quake community. I wasn't aware of that myself, but I shouldn't be surprised. Obviously, it's a cool old game, and I believe you can still buy Quake and Quake 2, Quake 3 Arena, all those on Steam. They're still available, but anyway, it sounds like there's a few things that has unimpressed them about introducing things like loadouts, which my memory's not good enough to remember a time when loadouts weren't a thing. So it hasn't really worried me, but it sounds like if you're a hardcore Quake player or Quake 3 Arena, whatever your poison may be, and you've been playing it for a lot of years, or you invested a lot of hours and a lot of time into this game, then there could be some things in it that don't necessarily impress you. But if you're anything like me, then Quake 3 Arena is something that I remember and I loved it a lot, but I haven't played or seen in a very, very long time now, so I don't really remember it overly well. Then this game is going to give you a real trip down memory lane. It certainly fires up the old nostalgia in me, that's for sure. Now, the game mode you have been watching is a team-based game mode, which you've probably noticed yourself. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of people in this server. I think it was only a 3v3, but it was kind of cool to be just me versus two others at the end there, and obviously I got one kill. I think the last guy dropped out. But I'm going to switch it over to some free-for-all here, and the first thing you'll notice is that this game mode can be a bit of a clusterfuck. There is just people and shit going on everywhere. If you think you get frustrated with battlefield spawns, wait until you get into this. It'll just unashamedly spawn you right in front of whoever's there, and you just kind of got to deal with it. Sometimes you spawn, die instantly, and that is just bad luck. It's fair to say that yeah, the guys that have been in here playing this have been doing so for a long time. They're getting pretty damn good at what they do. And with just a very limited amount of practice, there's no way I'm going to get a fantastic gameplay for you. I do like to try and practice a bit so that I can at least record a half-decent gameplay to upload to YouTube. But I just don't think I have the time to invest on making sure I can go 32 and 5, because it just seems like there's hundreds of hours between that point and this point. But it doesn't make it any less fun. Yeah, I am dying flat out, but getting those kills even seems more rewarding. And let me tell you that Quake Live is a pretty brutal game if you're just dropping into it as a noob, someone who hasn't really been playing Quake for a long time. You are going to get towed up, but just go with it. You know, enjoy that trip down memory lane, even if it means your KD is ridiculously awful. Trying to look at it from the other side, though, it is kind of cool that there is this niche little community that still plays a lot of Quake. They get quite good at it, and obviously it strikes me a little bit like Counter-Strike. The more tricks you know, and the better you know the maps and the different angles to fire your weapons through, the better you're going to get at it. And there's lots of, obviously, tricks and that sort of thing that, yeah, the more practice you do, the better you're going to get at a game like this. And I think that's a really cool thing, and it might be just your thing if you're looking to get back into something like this that does require a bit of skill. You can't just sort of drop into it and go well straight off the bat. You're going to have to put some time and effort into it, and I think that helps make it rewarding when you do go okay, and it's going to attract a lot more people to it. And the fact that it's a free-to-play is you can't really go wrong. This is probably going to be the point where a lot of people ask, is it a pay-to-win? And so far, I really haven't found any evidence to suggest that. I haven't checked out any online stores, any microtransactions. I don't even know if there are any. From what I can tell, it is what it is. It is what you're looking at on the screen there. I haven't spent any money on this, and it's just a good old-fashioned game of Quake. Well, unfortunately, that is the end of our trip down memory lane. It's a game I'm probably not going to spend hundreds of hours in myself, but I'm certainly going to drop in from time to time, try and hone my skills a little bit, and it certainly has been enjoyable to do that. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Remember to leave a like, of course, all those good things. Hit subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time.